First car on the racetrack, Matt Mills, number 99, the JF Electric Chevrolet. Matt was 40th out of the 41 cars that made time yesterday, so he's going to hope to pick up a little pace here.
41 cars entered for this afternoon's race, which you'll see right here on USA. 38 will make the starting lineup, so 3 will have to go home.
Look how dirty this racetrack is down the back straightaway. All the dust coming off the back of this car. Running a little high up in turns 3 and 4, maybe trying to get a little bit of a run down this straightaway to the green flag.
Junior, they had a practice session yesterday afternoon, but when you're the first out in qualifying, haven't been in the car all morning, what's it like?
And he's nervous because he's the first one on the track and doesn't really know where the grip level is. The other drivers, look how dirty this racetrack is. Concrete tracks really do throw a lot of dust up. They did have the truck race here last night. You'd think it'd be rather clean, but these tracks always tend to have a little dust on them. Really loose. He's going to lose control here. Stands on the throttle, backs it hard into the wall. And you hate to see that.
And that is a warning shot to the rest of the drivers out there. Track is greasy, track is dirty, and if you lose just a little bit of grip on those Goodyear tires, you're going to go around like Matt Mills just did.
Man, that's tough. And that, you know, this is tough for Matt, but anybody going behind him, the next few cars, the anxiety for them ramped up times 10 when they saw the dust and debris, and then seeing the lack of grip that this car had. We're going to watch him come through the corner. He's loose now. He's already swinging the back. There it goes. And it's his qualifying lap. You know, if he was practicing, he probably would have backed it off, saved the car, been able to regroup. But in this condition, you cannot lift. You have to try to save this spin, but also continue the lap. Try to get to the checkered flag to be able to post that lap.
And we mentioned it to start the show, 1 lap is all he got. So when Junior says it was time to go and put it down, he tried it. So didn't quite work out for Matt Mills. And he's in a precarious position, Junior. He could be sent home and not make this race.
That's right. We're watching the 6 of Ryan Vargas coast down pit road. He was pulling off onto the racetrack to start his run. He was on the track. He'll be able to come down pit road, get this car cooled back down.
So Vargas will get the car cooled back down. We head down that direction to the 3rd member of our broadcast team for this show. That's Steve Letarte on the Peacock Pit Box this afternoon. Hey, Stevie.
Hey, Dave. Thanks. Yeah, it's great down here on pit road, joined by Allmendinger. AJ, what was that face? You had me worried there for a minute. First car goes around. Give us your assessment before we get into your car and what you're trying to accomplish today. Tell me what you just saw right there with the 99.
Yeah, I mean, as Dale talked about there, like, I'm shocked how dirty the back straightaway is. I mean, we had the truck race last night, and of course you get a little bit of wind right now, but like that was super dirty. So went down in the corner there, and you know, especially in these qualifying it's different now from the Cup cars, right? We don't tape up anymore. So what you have in practice is kind of what you feel, but in these Xfinity cars, you do a full tape up, and front end's got a ton of downforce in it, and looked like you got in there and tried to throttle up, and it didn't stick. So that made me a little nervous.
Yeah, I can tell by the face. That kind of killed my intro. I buried the lead. So AJ driving the 16 for Kaulig. 2 wins on the road courses. Remarkable consistency, 13 top 10s. But you were reasonably vocal after practice yesterday that you guys as an organization needed to find more speed at the ovals. It looked better yesterday. What was your assessment after that practice?
Yeah, it's not from lack of effort. All the men and women at Kaulig Racing right now, we're working really hard, and you know, I think you can ask anybody, Matt Kaulig, Chris Rice, all of us, we haven't had the speed consistently at most of the ovals. Even the road courses, honestly, it's been a bit of a struggle. We've been able to capitalize on other mistakes and win a race, or win 2 races, but yeah, we've been off on speed. I felt like we've tried a lot of things. We went to Charlotte, tried some stuff. It helped. Came here, did some more stuff, and at least in practice, the biggest thing that I was happy about is I don't know what our long run speed's going to be, but in practice we haven't even had 1 lap speed,
right?
With no tape on the front end. So that was what made me happy, was the fact that I was first, Daniel Hemrick was second. So at least in 1 lap we have speed.
So speed, it's like the 4-leaf clover, right? And we always talk about finding it. In my past, the drivers would even say it didn't even drive much different, right? It felt the same, as surprising as that may be. It just went around the track faster. Is it the same, or is it a real balance change, or just overall quicker cars?
Yeah, I think, you know, at least for me over the last, I would say probably year or so with our Kaulig Racing Chevys, the balance hasn't been perfect, but the car's definitely been on top of the racetrack. So I thought yesterday the rear of our race car was really stable, and that was something that I was happy about. You know, the balance wasn't perfect, but it's great when you go by after a couple of laps and you look up at the board and you're like, oh, hey, we're P1. Like, hey, we actually have speed. It actually handles a little bit better, and there's some speed in it. So, you know, proud of everybody at Kaulig Racing that, you know, we're working hard on it. I'm not going to sit here and tell you right now that, yeah, I think we're the car to beat today, but I was happy with how practice went yesterday, and hopefully we can have a strong run with the Nutrien Ag Solution Chevy. If that's a win, great. Hopefully we can just run consistent top 5 all day.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time. It's a hot day here in Nashville. We're going to let him get down, find some shade, stay hydrated for an exciting race later this afternoon. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, Steve. There's Noah Gregson getting ready to take his qualifying run. We'll come back, stop the action for a cleanup, and we'll be back for more. Fun day of NASCAR racing action coming to you today from Nashville. You'll see it all on USA Network. Cup Series qualifying coming up right after this Xfinity Series qualifying run. Then Austin Dillon's life in the fast lane, followed by Countdown to Green in the Xfinity Series race here from the 1 1/3 miles. And, of course, always the post-race show from NASCAR America coming up following that. All today on USA. This is 19-year-old Parker Retzlaff on the track for his first laps at the Nashville Superspeedway in qualifying.
We already had an accident. The first car on the racetrack. Parker, the second car.
He took note, right?
He's got to be timid going around and trying to complete this lap. He was 19th in practice. Pretty decent speed.
Running one of 3 cars for RSS Racing. And has done well this year, Junior. You raced against him in Martinsville.
I did. He's a great kid and has shown some great potential in just the limited starts he has.
Puts up a 31.22.
It's about a 10th faster than he practiced.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll keep an eye on that and see where the track's going as far as pace and speed.
Again, if you're just joining us, 1 lap only for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. And that is it, 1 round of qualifying. So what you do on this 1 lap is where you'll be placed. We've mentioned 41 cars were entered this weekend, and 38 will make the show. So 3 are going to have to go home, and already Matt Mills has had trouble finding the wall on the very first run. Let's head back down to pit road, actually for the first time. Hey, Parker Kligerman, what's going on?
Hey, guys. Well, I've just caught up with a guy who's pretty fast in these Xfinity cars. Tyler Reddick here. You were quick in practice, had a mistake shifting-wise. We'll get past that. You're seeing some cars struggle for grip out there. What's going through your mind in this qualifying session?
Well, unfortunately, we're not really qualifying for starting position today, more for pit selection at Road America. So just want to make sure everything's good under the hood and in the car. So we're going to take advantage of the qualifying session. Made some small tweaks from practice, but we were pretty happy with our Lady A Chevrolet. And, you know, it was just a real shame that I made that mistake because track position's always important, but we'll have to work hard to get out of the hole, but got a good team to do it and excited to make our claw to the front.
And have you replayed that in your head, what you did, and sort of mentally note, don't do that again?
No, unfortunately, it's painstakingly engraved in my head, but yeah, just a little bit of rust, honestly. And just, you know, some of the other tracks that I'd been to with this car, the straightaways are flatter when you're going up through the gears, and I just didn't have quite the emphasis I needed to get it, to keep it in that, you know, in that gate and keep it from going back second. So tough, but I got great engines. ECR power is great. So we pulled up the next engine in line and good to go.
And guys, I find that fascinating, jumping from those cup cars just with the sequential shifting to the H pattern here in Xfinity, just something these drivers have to add to their list of differences between those 2 cars.
Yeah, a couple things to break down there, Parker. One is that difference between this car and the Cup car that he races. Junior, he also talked about racing for pit qualifying at Road America. What's he mean there? Or qualifying for pit selection, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you know.
He has to go to the rear today.
Yeah, everything, you know, qualifying, trying to get that good pit stall so you're not. So you really want to be able to get a pit stall around other cars that maybe you're not going to be racing throughout the day. So if you're going to be racing, if you're AJ Allmendinger running in the top 5 and you're Josh Berry, you don't want to pit next to each other and box each other in or have trouble all day on pit road. So you try to pit around cars that, you know, you select positions on pit road where you can maybe have an easy in or an easy out, determining on how you think that car might perform in the cars around you. So qualifying still important, even if you are going to the back of the field. Is we see B.J. McLeod in the 08 slotting third there, subbing for David Starr, who has the flu this weekend. Now Ryan Vargas back on the racetrack after getting his car cooled down. He's going to make his attempt. Kyle Weatherman's the fastest right now, and I think Kyle's one of those kind of underestimated guys in this series. A lot of speed. Really outperforms, I think, the equipment that he's in. Every time he drives these cars, he runs a little bit better than you expect. And right now, the first or fastest guy on the track, and Vargas is going to slide in third as well, 3/10 off of Weatherman's time.
Young Californian driver has tried to make his way through the Xfinity Series, several years in now. We'll see what he can do today at this very unique racetrack, Junior. It's kind of a one-off here at Nashville, right? It's a big cement track. We go to small cement tracks, we go to big asphalt tracks, but this one throws some curves at the drivers and teams.
Cement is absolutely unique in the way the car grips the track versus asphalt, and cement can be quite rough, rigid, has a lot of contour in it. Oh, man. Sieg a little loose there. This is Ryan's brother, Kyle, trying to compete more in the Xfinity Series.
And he'll bring it across the line using that apron down there. We'll head down to another flat part of the Nashville Super Speedway. That's pit lane on the pit box. Stevie, who do you have now?
It's popular down here, Dave. We got a driver in the number 9 for Junior Motorsports, Noah Gregson. Noah, you talked to us yesterday after practice. Seemed like you were pleased with your car. We talked a little bit about the heat, but let's talk about qualifying. We see some slipping, some sliding. What's the approach? You just try to get a solid lap in? How much do you kind of hang it out when we see qualifying same day as the race?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is not overdriving the corner and focused on exits. So that's kind of what I've seen just studying up in the past. Last year, I really struggled here. And so being able to study guys' data and see what works and what doesn't work, that's it's been a big turnaround with Luke Lambert, the rest of the 50th anniversary Bass Pro Shop team. We're pretty fast yesterday in practice, I'd say, and felt good behind the wheel. So, yeah, Dale was talking about the concrete tracks and kind of the differences. I don't quite have the same feel on concrete as I do asphalt, and kind of struggle at these places here, Dover, Bristol. So, you know, starting to get used to it more and acclimated, but it's a really tough track.
Well, you mentioned Luke Lambert. New crew chief Dave Ellens moved over to the Cup side for Eric Jones. You and Luke hit it right away, right? You won at Phoenix, you won at Talladega. What's it like getting acclimated to a new crew chief? It seems like nothing has almost changed for the 9 team. Still great speed and winning races.
Yeah, Dave, I'm still good friends with Dave, and it's cool to see all his success on the Cup side. But Luke's he's been awesome. I thought it was going to take, you know, half a year, 3/4 of a year just to kind of get comfortable with each other and find that communication, but at the same time it fired off our relationship immediately, firing on all cylinders, and just really enjoy. We have a lot of common interests, really enjoy working with them, and we just like to go have a lot of fun out there.
We appreciate you taking the time. NBC's excited to be back, have the coverage on NBC and here on USA. Appreciate you taking the time to talk to us and the fans.
Thank you.
Steve, thanks. Noah, appreciate you. And Dylan Bassett right now, Dale Jr., he's got his hands full with the 77.
Yeah, all these guys are going to be moving around on this racetrack. It's really slick, treacherous out there. But I do believe that we've got the track relatively cleaned up. So for the guys like Matt Mills, Poole, that went earlier, they're going to have a hard time making the show with that time. All these guys now have got a little cleaner racetrack, a little more confidence. They're starting to see the times being ran on the board. They're able to go out there and push the car a little bit harder.
We should mention, Junior, Matt Mills crashed, right? And then NASCAR and the track got together, and they did go out and blow off a lot of that dust that was out there. Unfortunate for Matt,
yeah,
but they saw what was happening and addressed it.
Jeremy Clements on the racetrack here, trending a little ahead of our pole sitter, Weatherman.
South Carolina driver Jeremy Clements in that reflective 51 car. That turn was a little tight.
Yeah. Looks like Kyle got off the corner a little bit better than Jeremy, and Jeremy's going to fall in second place. I'm telling you, man, the time Weatherman put up is a great time for that car.
Good lap for Jeremy Clements. Kyle Weatherman still top of the charts here from the Nashville Superspeedway. Qualifying continues at Nashville. 10 cars on so far. Bailey Curry the next to take on what has been a treacherous Nashville Superspeedway today. A little loose through 3 and 4 on his get up to speed lap. He'll take his 1 lap and see if he can make the 38 car field today. Let's head down to Parker Kligerman.
It has been a super slick track, but one guy who was super fast yesterday, he led practice, Sheldon Creed. So you're fastest in practice. We're looking at a hot, slick racetrack. How do you tackle this one?
Well, I think not overdriving, it's going to be the first one, but love the heat, love that it's going to be slick for us. So just going to go try to put a good lap together, hopefully get ourselves a good starting spot. And I feel like our wheel and RCR guys have done a really good job. We've been doing our homework and getting better and better. So I feel like this is the best I've felt in the car probably yet this year. So really excited to get rolling here, and got a fast Chevrolet Camaro to do it with.
Just quickly, what does that do for you mentally, knowing how you guys have struggled the last couple of months to suddenly have speed? Does that just open up all the possibilities for you? You feel like it adds confidence?
Yeah, I think I'm starting to have some fun again. I'm not very good at having fun when we're not running good. So I think we're getting more speed in the cars. I've obviously made mistakes this year that have cost us. So yeah, confidence is building. I think the guys are getting confidence and having fun again as well. So hopefully this is our turnaround weekend, and we can run with it from here.
Fun and confidence, that's a dangerous combination for a race car driver.
Sheldon Creed scheduled to go off 23rd today, Junior.
Yeah, and the car on the racetrack, I think, has got a real shot at actually winning this race. Last night's winner in the Truck Series, Ryan Preece. He was 5th at Charlotte in his last start, also in this car.
Yep, talking to the crew yesterday, same
Really
car.
loose. That's going to cost him quite a lot of time.
Now, he's supposed to know exactly how this track is, right, from having won the race last night in the trucks?
Yep. But we hear from the drivers, don't overdrive the entry to 1. It invites you to get down in there deep, but when you get to the center of the corner, you realize you're overrunning the middle, overrunning the center of the corner, and it's going to be very disappointed with this lap. You can see at both ends of the racetrack's really loose. Parker.
And Dale, one thing to note here is that when you see these cars get sideways, and it's something I noticed yesterday in the trucks and just talking to some of the drivers in Xfinity, they've noticed the same thing. This place with the hard tire and how it is slick, it doesn't give you warning. You get to the edge, and then you think you're good, and suddenly the car's gone. And I think you saw that there at Preece, where he tried again in 3 and 4 after getting loose in 1 and 2 and lost the rear. And I think that's a consistent theme a lot of drivers are going to fight here throughout this qualifying session. We get closer to pole. It's just that snapping of the car getting away from them.
So Ryan Preece, by the way, not in danger of missing the show. He's got enough speed in that 5 car, even at that, to make it.
Great lap
speed
here
for Jeffrey.
Yeah, good lap for the Forever Lawn Toyota from Jeffrey Earnhardt.
And there is Elvis, I'm sorry, Noah Gregson, walking down pit road. He could be the new Elvis, Junior. What do you think?
This guy is his own style, that's for sure.
I love it. He said the ladies on Instagram wanted the mullet back, so the mullet is back. We'll see if he can put the 9 car back in victory lane for Junior Motorsports today. That'll be later this afternoon. Right now it's qualifying. 1 lap for every driver. This driver yesterday, though he was very fast, broke a transmission, and crew had to do a little work to get Tyler Reddick back underway.
I don't know if Tyler will be that thrilled with the lap. Good exit of 4, though. Gained a little bit of time back to put it in 3rd position. I think he will want to work on the balance of that car. Here's the 18. Trevor Bain. Trevor running a limited schedule here. Has been out of the sport for a couple of years. Growing a business for his family. A little bit loose right there in the middle of 1 and 2. Going to lose a little time off the corner.
He's part of that crowd, Junior, that has experience here. This place ran the Xfinity Series from 2001 to 2011, so Trevor had a handful of starts in there. Coming back now, looks like he knows what he's doing, albeit with a little bit of a free race car.
He's going to do it.
Well in the green.
Puts that car up front by 2.5 tenths. Puts down a great lap. So a 30-70. It's a good target lap now for the rest of these guys. Fastest in practice was a 72.
Bain, by the way, was on pole earlier this year at Phoenix, so he's had a couple of up-front starts for Joe Gibbs Racing. This is Natalie Decker on track. See what she can do with her Toyota Supra.
One more corner, you'll lay down a good lap. That was good.
Encouraging the driver, trying to make sure that she keeps it under wraps. A little high through 4. Decent exit.
Natalie struggled in practice yesterday. That car just a little bit high on the left front, carrying the nose. Not really sealed off like you'd really want it. The platform a little off.
Here's a driver seeking a good run today at Nashville. Riley Herbst for Stewart Haas Racing. And with a teammate this weekend, Junior has some information he can share with Ryan Preece and try to make them both better.
This is one of the cars today. This is one of the cars today that we carrying a camera on board. We light right along on the roof through turns 3 and 4. Listen to the throttle. Struggling to really get the full throttle there.
Not bad.
Wow, good lap. So now 30.56 is the target lap for the rest of the field.
Nice lap, man. Really nice lap. 30.56, that's P1. Good work, man. Good work, guys. Thank you.
Dale, we don't see everybody use the apron for that finish, but is that a key to the pole? Is that important?
You know, I don't know whether it's worth a bunch at this racetrack because it's literally, you're just maybe cutting a couple feet. Racetracks with a little wider apron, you may want to get down there and do that, like a place like Kansas.
Jeb Burton on track now. Yesterday in practice, struggled a little bit, was down in the 20s with this race car.
This isn't a bad lap, though.
Like what we see there.
If you think, you know, Trevor ran a good lap at 70, that's an 81, putting him at 3rd.
And it's quite a bit of a pickup from his speed yesterday in practice, so nice run for Jeb.
Sam Mayer now in the 1 car off into turn 1. Tracking slower, losing quite a bit of time. Might have underdrove the entry. Being a little careful, trying not to get in too deep, but 3/10 off, 4/10 off down the back straightaway.
The now 19-year-old finding his way through the Xfinity Series, trying to keep it on that yellow line through 3 and 4.
What a great lap by Herbst.
Yeah, really, now you're comparing to something that was outstanding. That will put Sam Mayer 8th on the board here. Qualifying continues. Who will be on the pole today at Nashville? We'll see when we come back. It's a beautiful hot Saturday in Nashville, Tennessee, but we've got a Super Sunday lined up for you. It'll all start on Peacock at 4 o'clock Eastern with Countdown to Green, and then over to Big NBC for the 5 o'clock Cup Series race from Nashville. And then, of course, our post-race will happen on Peacock again, so make sure you keep Peacock handy. Watch NBC tomorrow afternoon for the 2nd ever Cup Series race here at Nashville, Junior, and that's going to be fun.
Yeah, Josh Williams on the racetrack right now in the Peg Leg Porker. That's a local barbecue joint down in Nashville.
I was going to say, good for you.
It's really good. Driving for BJ McLeod.
I'd like to experience that when we're done here. I think I'll skip out. Parker, how about you?
Dave, I can confirm it's hot right now down here, but catching up with Landon Castle, who 1 year ago you announced this Voyager sponsor coming on board. Since then, you signed with Colleague Racing. You're up running for wins. It's amazing what a difference a year makes, right?
Yeah, this is a really special race weekend for me and my family and our partners, Voyager. You know, also, Nashville's an awesome venue to have that 1 year anniversary. So just loving this 10 car and all of Colleague Racing. I can't thank Matt Colleague and Chris Rice enough for having me on this team, and you know, racing up front feels good.
So speaking of being up front, you were pretty fast in practice yesterday. What are you expecting out of qualifying? These Colleague cars are looking really good. You guys think you can be a threat for the pole?
Yeah, I'm not sure, because I feel like this is one of those tracks where if you have a really good car and long run in the race, you're probably going to be pretty loose in qualifying. So we'll just kind of see where it ends up, but I feel really good about my car after about 5 or 6 laps on tires.
We'll see if they can back up that speed from practice, guys. But it's amazing. 1 year ago, announcing a sponsor, and here he is back with that same sponsor, Colleague Racing. Pretty awesome.
Now that's fun, Parker. We'll see what Landon can do. We knew what Sheldon Creed did. We saw that in the background, Dale Jr. That was an amazing save by the 2 car.
It was a big save, and Stephen Parsons on the racetrack right now. We're going to take a look at that save.
We're going to wait for Stephen Parsons to finish up. Yeah, that'd be good.
Take a look at that in a second.
Come on, Stephen.
Oh, boy. Used every bit of the racetrack right there off of turn 4. Creed with the same issue. Let's take a look.
Just wrecking loose. As soon as I get down the corner, just a 4-wheel slide.
He's already sideways right here. And, man, wheels it all the way off the corner. He's already turning right and just continues to drive the car all the way off corner exit. Big save.
Here's Stephen Parsons doing it similarly, but not quite as close to that.
Yeah, it's just a treacherous racetrack, especially Parker Klingerman mentioned how hard the tire is.
Oh, hang on.
Big moment.
Patrick, you got it.
Oh, that's going to cost him so much time.
So, Dale Jr., let me ask you this. This is qualifying, single lap, right? You're putting it on the line. You've got to put the cars in the show. What's the race going to be like?
Well, you know, in the race, they can back it down a little bit. They don't have to take these type of risks. In qualifying, they've got to go. They don't have a choice. They have to send it in there and trust there's going to be grip. Now, it seems like 90% of the time there is not grip.
It looks like it.
But the tire is really hard, really conservative because they had massive tire wear during the test here last year. So Goodyear definitely doesn't want to come here with a tire issue. They're going to bring a very conservative tire. It will race well. They'll move around and put down a lot of rubber last night in the Truck Series. But in qualifying, when it is brand new, it is absolutely treacherous.
Joe Graff Jr. finishes his lap. And that will put Graff in the books in 5th. The driver who is 2nd right now is standing by with Steve Letarte.
That's right, Dave. Trevor Bain's going to join us here on the pit box. So we've had a couple drivers before their run talk about the track and what they expect. Trevor, 2nd on the board. When you came up, you said slick and loose. That's kind of the evaluation so far of this racetrack?
Yeah, definitely the evaluation. I saw Sheldon Creed get a little looser than I did, but, man, I was really tight yesterday. This resin, the way it takes rubber, it just makes the front end kind of locked in, the rear's locked in. But today, the track looks different. It's really pale. You know, the rubber's not there like it was yesterday, and I was sideways. I mean, I thought for sure that my lap time was going to be a lot worse than it was, but there's some room for improvement here for the next few cars, for sure.
Anthony Alfredo on the track here. So, Trevor, Daytona 500 winner. You kind of went away from the sport. Now we see you back. 5th race for Joe Gibbs Racing. What's the goal? Are you looking to get back full time? What's the perfect scenario for Trevor?
For sure, man. I love this stuff way too much to be done. And I think that was kind of a misconception in 2018 that I wanted to be done. And I didn't. There just wasn't opportunity. And so driving race cars is something worth fighting for. You've been around the sport for a long time. You know how addicting it is and how much fun it is to be around. But the great thing was I got to be away for 3 years, get new perspective, work hard in my business, learn what actual is hard work, not driving race cars. That's not that hard. Do some TV stuff, and that's been fun, learning your world, trying to figure this out. So all that together, but now I'm back in the race car, and this is where I want to be ultimately.
So listen, you may not know this, but I'm a coffee lover. You're the coffee guy now. So listen, beautiful wife, 4 wonderful children. You have this great thing. 3 coffee houses, and you run it all on your own.
Yeah, we're managing it all. I do have great staff there. We're about 23 employees now, which is a lot to manage. So my 4 kids doing this, I mean, eventually we'll find something we're good at. I just keep saying that. I'll try it all. But, yeah, it's all going good and just trying to manage it and at the end of the day be good when I show up at the racetrack here.
All right, let's talk about the racetrack. Look ahead, qualifying behind you. You're going to have a decent starting spot somewhere, hopefully up inside the top 10. What are we going to see? Hot, slick, relatively short race. How do you attack this afternoon?
Yeah, I mean, really right now it's just judging how much is this track going to change starting the race. Yesterday in practice, it changed pretty quick. By run 3, it had taken rubber, it had gained grip. And so being loose right now might not be a bad thing to start the race if it does take rubber. But we know last year it freed up as we ran. So how free can you start this thing? And that's the question we have. I feel like we under-adjusted for qualifying based on last year's notes. They were way too tight. So got her this time. It was free. This race, though, should be fun for us. I mean, anytime I can be in this race car with Joe Gibbs, Devotion Nutrition, it's a great day, but we want to win. It's time to win. It's the 5th start of the year. I'm in a Gibbs car. They're fast, so I need to get it done.
I like the attitude. Wouldn't shock me one bit if you were the guy in victory lane today. Appreciate you coming to see us, man.
Thanks for having me. Good to see you guys.
Steve, thanks. Thanks, Trevor. Ryan Sieg had a moment, Dale.
Yeah, he ended up way up the racetrack in 1 and 2. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it's going to slide in 15th there. We got one more car here. Alex LeBay before we go to break, making his lap. LeBay in the 36 car.
Canadian driver who has made a home now in the NASCAR Xfinity Series for Mario Goslin.
Yoko Vodka. Chevrolet.
You're interested in vodka, are you?
I got vodka. Yeah.
Have a vested interest, as a matter of fact.
High Rock Vodka. We'll go up against this guy.
Sure. I'll have a taste-off later today. By the way, if you're just joining us, these cars are going to be in 19 rows of 2 to start a race here this afternoon at this track, and it's going to be fantastic. The Xfinity Series coming back to Nashville last year with the Cup Series and reopening the place. We can't wait.
LeBay in 22nd.
All right, Alex brings it down, cools it down. Ty Gibbs coming up, as well as several others challenging for the pole here at Nashville. However you consume your television, keep it pegged to the USA Network all day today. Because right after this Xfinity Series qualifying, we've got Cup Series qualifying, Austin Dillon's life in the fast lane, countdown to green, the race, and then, of course, the post-race show. We'll find out what happened, who's mad at who. Of course, who took home the big check and the big trophy from Nashville Superspeedway.
The last 10 cars going on the racetrack now, trying to unseat Riley Herbst from the top spot. Landon Castle about 3/10 off, exiting turn 4. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to do it.
That's not going to get it done. And Junior, you mentioned how good that Herbst lap was. What do you think?
I mean, he's just got to be really happy with it. Brandon Jones now on the racetrack, crossing the finish line, taking the green flag, going down into turn 1. Riley needs something to smile about. It's been a difficult couple of years for that team. Trying to find some consistency and get to victory lane. Well ahead of Trevor Bain in second place by a 1/10.5. Brandon Jones, though, really loose. He's going to lose a lot of time right here. He had a great lap going. Asking just a little too much of the car, getting into turn 3.
And you can feel it, right? You know it's good, and you want a little bit more, and you just step over that line. So Jones will step into 4th place. Meanwhile, it's up to Myatt Snyder to see if he can unseat Riley Herbst.
Myatt was in 30th in practice yesterday. You see down the back straightaway.
That's right. The qualifying order is not based on yesterday's practice. It's a metric that NASCAR uses. So Myatt's in this final group. Good place to be.
Sideways, man. Every car through the middle of 3 and 4 just out of control.
And that's going to put Snyder in 28th to start today's race. Have to make some time from there. This is not a long race, 188 laps, right? So you're going to have to get on it if you start as far back as Snyder will this afternoon.
One thing I'm noticing is all these guys come down the front straightaway into turn 1. They're already tracking behind Herbst. So you got a great exit through turn 4 to the green flag.
Call that the coming to green lap, right, Junior? That's just as critical almost as your actual timed lap.
Hey, Junior, you know, you drivers always had an opinion on what was available. I asked Trevor Bain, and he really thought like a 30-35 or 30-40 was available on the racetrack. It's really a question in my mind is what gamble are you willing to take? Because I think you can run a conservative lap with a great car, be in the top 10 on board with Noah Gragson, or you can really commit for the pole, but if you get one of those big wiggles, it could be 15 or 20 spots.
And we know this track isn't getting faster. As the heat comes up, the track temp goes up, it gets slicker, hard to get a hold of. Gragson with a decent run off of 2. Holding steady down the back straightaway, a 10th off of Herbst's lap time into turn 3. This is the second car we'll have a camera on today. Chasing the car up the racetrack. Didn't get to the bottom of the corner. It's going to cost him a little bit.
How about a cloud, Dale Jr.? Because about half of his lap was cloud covered, and we see some rolling around here.
Well, if you got a cloud coming, you might want to try to drag your feet a little bit so you can basically try to get that track as much time as it can. You see a little bit of shade here and there for this 54 of Ty Gibbs down into turn 1. A lot of shade there entering the corner, but now the back straightaway. It's going to come out of that shade.
Gibbs had never seen this racetrack before, did some simulation runs, try to become familiar with it, was 7th quick in practice yesterday and has won more times than any other driver on the circuit so far this year. 3 in all.
One of the cars I thought had a great shot at the pole. 4/10 off, just everybody struggling for grip. I think the track is going the other way quickly in terms of speed and grip.
Ambient temperature when we came onto the air this afternoon was 87 degrees, and it's only been going north from there. Predicted high is over 90 into the mid-90s today.
Austin Hill with a nice entry. Up the racetrack a little bit. It's going to lose some pace off of 2.
Austin started the year with a win at Daytona.
I like this guy. I like his attitude, his style, his swagger. I think he fits in well with the RCR group.
Solid exit there. He's going to be about a 10th and a half off. Not bad.
That is a great lap. I think that shows some of these guys, the remaining few that we have, there is a chance. There was some problems and issues on that lap for the 21, and he still was in the 10th and a half.
3 to go. Justin Allgaier behind the wheel of the 7 car. And again, a little bit of that high arcing exit, just like Austin Hill just had.
Yeah, they're just chasing, they're charging, they're rolling the center a little bit too much and chasing the car up the racetrack. And you can see it cost him a little time down the back straightaway. Tries to gain it back in into the turn 3, but you're gonna lose a little bit. If you charge the entry, it's gonna cost you on exit.
Giving and taking and giving and taking. Allgaier will be 4th. 2 left. It's all up to Josh Berry and A.J. Allmendinger to see if they can unseat Riley Herbst and his Mustang from the top spot. Here's Berry.
This is Berry's hometown track. Grew up in Nashville. Trying to perform well in front of his family and friends who are here today.
A lot of extra tickets requests, I imagine. See what the hometown boy can do. He's been successful already this year. Wow, just bounced off the yellow line there.
Yeah, big moment. Cost him a couple tenths off of turn 4. Trying to get to the finish line.
And Josh currently 8th. And then there was one. Now, mentioned in his interview by Parker, Sheldon Creed was fastest yesterday, but he put on a brand new set of tires and ran a qualifying simulation wrap. A.J. Allmendinger did not. He was the fastest car of anyone who did not do that.
And I think A.J. has the best, veteran mentality to go out there and try to make this work. And you see how well he's doing. Almost even off of turn 2. Didn't charge entry of 1. Got off of 2 good. He's there. He's got a shot at it.
In the red, but going the right way. Can he make the exit of 4 stick? Trending down. Who's it going to be? Herbst or Allmendinger? And Allmendinger will be 2nd. Riley Herbst maintains that top spot with a fantastic lap earlier on. There he is.
Great job by this team.
Oh, man. Super job.
Good effort by AJ, though. I think this track's much slower. He went out there. They've been trying to find things in that Colleague machine, that number 16, to be excited about. And they've got great pace this weekend. But leading them off today from the pole will be this man right here, Riley Herbst, with a 30.56. You can see the team excited about that lap. He needs a little confidence, a little boost.
And Riley Herbst, the 23-year-old, it is his 2nd career pole here in the Xfinity Series. It comes at Nashville Super Speedway, and he will lead them all to green later this afternoon. As soon as we finish up here, the Cup Series cars will be on track for qualifying. And right after that, Austin Dillon's life in the fast lane, followed by countdown to green for the Xfinity Series. A fantastic race setup for this afternoon with Xfinity, followed by our post-race show. And this will all be happening on the USA Network. And, of course, the driver leading the Xfinity Series to green today will be Riley Herbst, Parker.
Right down here with him right now beside this 98 car. An awesome lap, but be honest, were you nervous watching A.J. Allmendinger there get so close?
Yeah, thanks, Parker. This Ford Mustang was really fast. So I was worried about 3 cars, the 9, the 54, then obviously AJ. He was really fast in practice. So once we had the first 2 covered, I took a little bit of a breath, and I was like, all right, we might have a shot at this. But AJ had a really good lap going on SMT, and I was like, oh, it's going to be close. And man, I just have to thank everybody at Stewart Haas Racing. It's been a way better year than last year, and a couple rough few weeks, but drinking some Monster Energies in this nice heat, get us ready to go today and try to go win this race.
So it was a very slick qualifying session. We saw a ton of cars fighting that rear grip through 3 and 4. What do you expect in this race? This sun is not going away. This is going to be a very slick racetrack, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the sun's only going to pick up. It's only noon, 12:30 here. So I think it's going to get hotter. We're going to go green flag at 2:30, 3 o'clock. And if I was a betting man from Las Vegas, I would put us that we're going to be on the fence today.
Love that. Does the heat bother you at all?
Monster Energy Hydros, Monster Energy, we're good to go.
I love it, guys. Young and ready to take on the heat, of course.
And always got a promo ready to go there. Junior riding the fence here at Nashville today. What do you think about that?
I would love to see it. I don't know if they'll actually get all the way up there against the wall, but, man, if they do, that's going to be an amazing race to watch. You're talking about a wide racetrack, a lot of different lanes to run. So the wider the track, the better the drivers like it. A better show for us at home.
We'll look forward to seeing that later this afternoon. Watch the Cup cars here. They're ready to go. They'll be qualifying a couple of different rounds for them this afternoon. That'll be fun. These are the full results from this afternoon. And, of course, Junior, we had to send 3 of these guys home.
Yeah, Matt Mills, we saw him getting the wall off of turn 4. Unfortunately, won't make the race. Brennan Poole and Massey in the 91. Those 3 will be going home. As you look at the rest of the field, great qualifying effort by Jeffrey Earnhardt, Joe Graff Jr., Kyle Weatherman with an awesome lap.
For Jesse Awuji and Emmett Smith, good run for him in 16th. And you see the rest of the 38-car lineup here. Nice for the Bassett brothers in 30th there. They made the race. They've attempted 5 others this year. Didn't make it in, Junior. They're in today.
Yeah, they got to be excited to be able to compete finally after all of that effort.
And there you see Patrick Emmerling will be at the tail end of the field. Brendan Poole, Mason Massey, and Matt Mills, as Junior mentioned, not making the show this afternoon. But it's going to be a good race.
Yeah, we talked about how slick this racetrack is. They're going to use every inch of it as far as what the drivers think. And I think that, you know, once they get in a rhythm, they'll rubber this track in. But then under caution, they'll pick all that back up. And then the track's going to continue to shift back and forth all race long. It's going to be tough to chase the balance of the race car, and how to make your car faster and better. It's a big challenging day for these drivers ahead. And the heat.
And the heat.
Super hot, super uncomfortable. 125 to 150 degrees inside these cars.
Once again, the Cup cars lined up here, ready to go, Junior. Yesterday in practice, as we look at Cup driver Eric Jones getting ready to go, Bubba Wallace for 2311 Racing, he was fastest on track.
Man, you could tell he was so happy to have something to smile about. It's been a tough couple of weeks for those guys, but he's watched his teammate Kurt Busch have pace this year at times, and they came with, I think, the best car yesterday, and we'll see how he runs today. Parker.
Well, guys, as we watch these Cup cars get lined up, you see that Cup Series qualifying coming up immediately after this. They already had the cars rolling right behind the Xfinity cars as we were finishing Xfinity Series qualifying. If you thought that was hot and slick and interesting, wait for this qualifying session. Shifting both ends, these Cup cars gain a ton of grip because they pump those tire pressures up, which means it's high commitment, but it doesn't make it any easier. I was talking to some of the drivers who said this is going to be a really sketchy lap here, so it's going to be a very interesting qualifying session coming up, guys.
And we look forward to that, Parker. It's going to be fun. Rick, Jeff, and Steve coming back on the other side of the break. Parker's going to stick around for that. Junior and I are out of here. We appreciate you watching Xfinity Series qualifying this afternoon, where Riley Herbst is on the pole.